What's up, beautiful people? Another day, another study. Over two-thirds of U.S. adults are classified as overweight or obese, and excess adiposity is causally linked to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and excess all-cause mortality. In trials of weight loss interventions, 20 to 30% of the total mass loss is lean mass. Lean mass doesn't necessarily mean muscle. It can be skeletal muscle, it can be bone, it can be organs, it can be water. Therefore, the goal is to create body composition changes where we're losing adiposity, fat mass, and we're gaining or preserving lean muscle. Well, enter beta-hydroxybutyrate or BHB. There is some evidence that supports that BHB may be muscle preserving in caloric deficits. This study assessed the effect of exogenous BHB on body composition, metabolic rate, and cardiometabolic markers in people who were obese or overweight in a 500-calorie deficit diet over 8 weeks. Now, they did 5 grams of BHB salt twice a day compared to placebo. However, they used a racemic mixture, which is 2 different types of BHB. It's basically like a left-hand version and a right-hand version, and only one of them is active. I would have done only the active version. There's no significant differences in cardiometabolic markers between the groups. There's a slightly within group difference in the BHB, so they LDL decreased about like 7 or 8, nothing really to write home about. Now, there were statistically significant within group changes in the fat mass and lean to fat mass ratio with BHB compared to placebo. The BHB group lost about 3 kilograms of body mass, the placebo group about 1 kilogram of body mass. There are limitations. This was a short study, only 8 weeks, only 51 participants. They excluded people with metabolic diseases, and there was no measurement of plasma ketones. However, given the mechanisms by which BHB can preserve lean mass, and these studies showing that there was some positive benefits in body composition, I would love to see some additional studies in this area. Also, the BHB salts were safe. Adverse effects were really no different than placebo. And they looked at liver function. There was a recent study in mice where they looked at BHB salts versus other types like esters. And there were some adverse changes in the liver associated with those other types, not the BHB salts. This study didn't see any significant changes in liver function markers indicating adverse effects on the liver, so that's great. Overall, the data on BHB salts seem to be something that I would recommend as safe and effective. Now, there are some people who shouldn't do these things, like people with diabetes who are on insulin, maybe people who are needing to reduce salt intake for their medical conditions. Of course, like all supplements, talk with your doctor, your pharmacist before taking them. But I'm a fan of exogenous ketones. I take BHB every morning for my workouts because I work out fasted. Have you tried exogenous ketones? Let us know down below.